I know you? Hold on a second. Filippo!
It's
Filippo! Oh, I had no idea. Oh, good
Your
to see
own
you.
friend is the musical alchemist.
Wow, this is a big day for me. I'm going to celebrate.
Explorations.
Want to have dinner tonight?
Yeah, let's
Okay,
do
let's
that.
celebrate. You never know what's going to happen in life.
What was I going to ask you? I forgot it.
Well, if I knew it was you, I would have worn this hat you gave me.
Please, try it on.
Nah.
Well, I guess you've seen the effect of mantras on many people now since you travel all over singing. And what do you see this happening? What's happening? Why are people so interested in chanting these days?
You mean that night after the kirtan when I opened the van door and you just fell out because you were so high on mantras? Yeah. A lot of people complain from they call it a kirtan hangover, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, we don't want to go there.
We don't want to go there. In any event, why do I see mantras spreading and taking off?
What's the appeal about mantras and chanting now?
Sure. Well, in the yoga texts, there are many different kinds of practices that are prescribed for different times of the evolution, the planetary evolution. And in those texts, it says that the time we're in now is what's called Kali Yuga, which is a challenging time where there's darkness on the planet, where there's distraction on the planet, ignorance. It is said that at certain times, the mind just naturally is in a state of meditation, which is not the case. We have to strive and work toward it, and often, the mind gets distracted, and of course we have, so many, with technology, so many impulses that are taking us, they can potentially bring us outside ourselves, So the idea is to enter into that meditative state. There's many names for that. Getting back to what the yoga teachings say, they say that during this Kali Yuga, this time of darkness, which is called the Iron Age, that the practice of kirtan and mantra recitation is what they call a prescribed practice. So that's why many people who come to kirtan just engage the practice, they sing the mantras, and they just start to feel expansive. They remember what their true state is effortlessly. And I think that's why it connects to so many people, because it's, in a lot of ways, an effortless way to connect with our true self. It's a way to do it in community, and it's something that often can be spontaneous.
Truly, truly. Can you remember any particular incidents that strike you as illustrating the power of mantras in your course of using these tools and with other people, transformations that happen during the kirtans perhaps, or anything?
Yeah,
like
I
that?
mean, one of the things that happens often is you'll have somebody come to a kirtan who's never experienced it before.
Oh, yeah.
They'll just come in not knowing anything.
A virgin.
A virgin, kirtan virgin. And they will have a strong reaction without even knowing what the words mean. They may have a big emotional release, or tears, or joyful expansion. And it's very powerful, because the most important thing, and I'm sure you've shared this on your show, is that kirtan, I call it one of the ancient forms of sound vibrational healing. It works at the level of vibration, which means it requires no intellectual understanding to reap the benefits. So people come and they just start singing, and suddenly there it is. And I see it happen all the time. People get connected to that practice. I also call it, every time you chant, it's like touching bliss. And you touch bliss once and it's wonderful. And then you touch it again and it's wonderful, but it sticks a little more. You touch it again and it sticks a little more. And suddenly it starts to, and this is what has happened for me, it starts to become an ultimate reminder, which means, for me, I started to get in touch. I started at some point, after many years of chanting, to just feel inebriated and just remember that this life is a life to be enjoyed and to be celebrated. And that's the beauty of mantra. To me, it's an ultimate recognition and reminder of our true state, and it is cumulative. And the more you chant it, the more you're reminded, the more you're reminded, the more you remember, and the more that starts to become. It's sometimes if you'll be on a retreat or something, and at the end of a retreat, somebody will say, well, that was wonderful, now it's time to go back to the real world. But eventually you realize that this state of joy, this is the real world. This is the way it was meant to be. Miraculous, joyful, connected, fluid, in a state of grace and oneness. This is who we are. And chanting is just an amazing reminder. It works. Filippo knows I'm a Capricorn, so I'm very practical. And the reason why I've stuck with kirtan is because, practically speaking, it works.